Hello and welcome. Today I'll be doing a 2020 election prediction, but before we get started, please go subscribe. We're currently at 314 subscribers. Let's hit 350 by the end of the month, so go and subscribe, and let's get started. So there's been a lot of major events that's happened in the last week. We've had the presidential debate. We've had Donald Trump announced having COVID-19, and tomorrow we have the vice presidential debate. I will be streaming tomorrow. I will not be commentating. I will be having pre-recorded videos up while it's happening. So go check it out. And let's get started now. So, we're going to go over the safe Donald Trump states. Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, except the 2nd Congressional, the Dakotas, Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, Utah, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, West Virginia, and Alaska, giving Trump 116 electoral votes. Going over to Joe Biden, California, Washington, Hawaii, Illinois, D.C., Maryland, Delaware, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, New York, giving, actually, we forgot the Maines first, giving Joe Biden 155 electoral votes. Going to Donald Trump for the likely states, Texas, I don't see this one in the lean column. Even though polling shows Donald Trump having a 3.5-point lead over Joe Biden, I still see it as a 7-point win for Donald Trump. It's going to be narrower than 2016, but I think that it will not drop below 5 percentage points. South Carolina, I had this one in the safe column. This one's narrowed up slightly. Probably going to be a 10 to 12-point win for Donald Trump. I don't see it dropping to single digits. Ohio, this state is most likely going in the likely column. This was a state, even in the midterms, where Republican Governor Mike DeWine won the state by 3.5, 4 points, and that was a Democratic wave year. Even though this is a presidential election and a lot has happened, I still don't see the state narrowing down to a lean margin. It's going to go 6, 7 points. I don't see it going over 10 or whatever, but it still is going to be in the likely column. Going to Joe Biden for likely states, Oregon, New Mexico, Colorado, New Jersey, Connecticut, Maine at large, and Virginia. All these areas are definitely not flipping to Trump, and all these likely states that Trump has will not flip to Biden. Oregon, New Jersey, Connecticut, New Mexico, you think of these states as usually safe, but it's usually not won by 15 points or more. They're usually between 8 and 14-point victories, so I don't see too much of a gain in margins, and Virginia is just moving into the now favoring Democratic column. It's not a swing state anymore, but I don't see it going 15 points to Biden. Maybe a future Democrat along the line, but we'll see. Going back to Donald Trump for lean states, Iowa, Georgia, Maine's 2nd Congressional District. Iowa's going to go to Trump probably 4.5, 5 points. Georgia, 3 to 4. Maine's 2nd is probably 4.5, close to 5. Could go in the likely margin. There was a pullout that gave Trump a +8. I could see that happening, but I see it also narrowing up slightly. Going to Joe Biden for lean states, Nevada, Minnesota, Michigan, Wisconsin, New Hampshire, bringing, it is everything. So for Nevada, this one it's still a swing state, but it slightly favors the Democrats. It would be an upset if Donald Trump did win the state. It would be very surprising. Joe Biden would probably carry it 3, 4 points. Minnesota is definitely becoming a swing state. It was a very reliable Democratic state, but since Trump started running, or even down the line, even when Obama was running, it's been trending Republican. The Iron Range and a lot of trade policies has shifted the voting demographics to Republicans. But I don't see it flipping this time around. It can, but I see it still favoring Biden. Probably it's going to be a slightly bigger margin than Hillary Clinton's, probably like 2.5 points. I don't see it over 4. Michigan, this state has been pretty bad with polling usually, so that means it could be a pretty big win for Biden, or it could be a flip going, actually a hold for Donald Trump. I see the state favoring Joe Biden, but I don't see it going 8 points or going to Donald Trump. It's probably going to go to Biden by like 2 points or so, 2.5, 3 points. I don't see it over 5% the likely margin. Wisconsin, this is a state that Trump actually didn't have more votes than Mitt Romney in it, and it was just lower turnouts. It's a state that is trending more Republican. We'll see. There's probably going to be way higher turnout, like every other state it's going to be like. So yes, Donald Trump will improve on his total vote, but I still see Biden outpacing him, probably by 1.5 points. I don't see this as a big victory. New Hampshire, this is also a Democratic favored swing state. It's probably going to go to Biden by like 3-4 points. I don't see it in the likely column, but I don't see it in the tilt column either. Going back to Donald Trump for tilt states, North Carolina, even last election around, the polling in the state was pretty bad. They did not do a good job in it, and usually there's not pretty good polling there, usually favoring Democrats more than Republicans, just like Nevada favoring usually Republicans more than Democrats in their numbers. North Carolina also had higher Republican voter registration by, I think it was 80,000. And registration, you could be an independent and vote for Biden and whatever, but if you're gaining a lot of momentum more than your opponents in voter registration, that's a good sign for you in that state. And I still see it tilting to Trump probably by close to 1 percentage point. I could see it even going 2 to 3 points to Trump, but at this moment I see it as a tilt. Florida, this state is going to be very close. It's going to be super high turnout. Polling suggests a 3.5 point victory for Joe Biden, but that drops the ABC News poll, which actually had Trump up by 4 points, and it's an A+ rated pollster. There hasn't been a new one come out yet, but it dropped it from the average, and it shifted it a lot more to Biden. In the betting odds, it shows almost a coin flip there, and I usually would say the incumbent is favored there, and now with that as his home state, and Republicans actually doing good there in the midterms, I see it's still holding with Donald Trump, bringing Trump to 248 electoral votes. We'll go back to Pennsylvania and Arizona, but I will go to Biden now. It doesn't mean that he'll win both, but I'm going to go over them. So, Pennsylvania, Biden had that was the town hall a while ago. I'm thinking the town hall in Miami. That was in Miami yesterday. I was about to say Pennsylvania. That was another one. But I think with the recent events, this has slightly favored the state now to him. I said it would go to Donald Trump, but this state I really do see as a coin flip. Donald Trump gained 300,000 votes on top of Mitt Romney, as well as there's been over 100,000 more registrations to Republicans. I do not see the state going 5+ points to Biden. It's going to be a very close one there. Nebraska is second. I see it slightly favoring Biden at the moment. I do see the Republican House candidate winning there, Bacon. but I do see it slightly favoring Biden. There hasn't been too much polling out there, but it's all shown Biden is leading there. But in Arizona, I am going to give it to Donald Trump with improving polling numbers. And Arizona usually liking conservative judges, and with Judge Barrett most likely going to be confirmed to the Supreme Court before the election, it'll boost him over to victory, bringing Donald Trump to 259 electoral votes to Joe Biden's 279. This is a very close election. A lot of people do not think so. They think it's going to be a huge Biden victory or a huge Trump victory. This is going to be a very, very close election, even though polling is showing a pretty big Biden victory. I don't believe it because of a lot of people scared about their opinions in the public, usually conservatives shifting the polling towards Democratic candidates, depending upon who it is, but some polling is pretty accurate depending upon the states. But I think at the swing states and the closer states, it's definitely it's not showing that the race is close, and I do not at all agree with that. I'm not saying Trump's going to win. I'm not saying Biden's going to win, but I'm just saying this is going to be a close election. Thank you for watching. Please go like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, as well as tune into the stream tomorrow on the vice presidential debate. Bye.